And thank you so much for joining us as you do for every episode of Let's Talk Now live on YouTube and on Facebook. You can also call us 615-737-9292. Post your questions and we will get a response for you. We have guests aboard the program and of course they are our good friends. They are members of the Middle Tennessee National Action Network and the president is Cheryl Huff. Good to see you again, President Huff.
Good to be seen.
Good to be seen. And what's the other part? Okay, never mind. Also, you brought along your executive board member of the Veterans Chair, and that is Miss Carmelo Hodges Matthews. Good to see you, Miss Matthews.
Thank you. Good to be here. Thanks for having
All
us.
right, and of course, no stranger to our audience. Because NAN is on the move now, looking for memberships and want your involvement. Middle Tennessee National Action Network. Post your questions now if you have a question or a comment for our guest, or call us 615-737-9292. Live on YouTube and live on Facebook. Let's begin with the Middle Tennessee National Action Network. What is it? How long has it been around? We have new listeners all the time, new viewers all the time. So fill us in, President Huff, on NAN.
Yes, so glad to be here as always. Feel like family coming home.
Hello, cuz.
And that's right, hey cuz.
Right.
So we are a civil rights organization led by Reverend Al Sharpton. He has started this organization in 1991. And we started here in Nashville in 2021. I saw a need, and I stay in my head all the time.
Absolutely.
And I came out my head and put it on paper, and then here we go. 3 years later, we're here, and we have work to do, and we do the work. We have fun, and we work hard. So
right.
Absolutely
yes,
work hard.
We want to have some fun today.
Yes.
You put a bid for the national president to come to Nashville. He did. Al Sharpton was here.
Yes.
And we're going to highlight what we had a takeaway from his visit. Powerful message, too, by the way. First, I want to find out what all of the duties and responsibilities for Ms. Carmelo Matthews.
All right.
I understand you're the chair of the Veterans Committee.
I am. I am also a veteran myself.
All right. Thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a veteran myself.
Yes, thank you for your service.
All right. Thank you. So how do you help vets that come to you?
Okay, so veterans come, they submit a form on our website, or they may see us at certain events, and they, of course, have different issues, different obstacles they may have faced while trying to navigate the Veterans Administration system. And so we offer guidance, support. All of them are different. I'll put that in there. There's no one way. We have a process. However, everyone's situation is typically unique to that specific veteran. So we meet them where they are and try to get them to their finish line.
All right. So I'm a veteran. I need your help. What's the first thing I need to do?
Again, complete our form or make contact with us, which you have, and then I'll ask you for certain information to understand where you fit at in that system, in that process. I will ask you, of course, for your DD-214.
All right. That's the first thing.
That is
Get
the
a copy
first
of
and
that.
most important thing. That gives you all your proof of service. And that DD-214 says everything from on your military record, what you did, when you did it, how you did it. And so that's most important for all veterans to understand. And then, depending on what your goals are, some veterans are already receiving ratings and benefits, and they may need some help with housing. They may need some help with education, or some may want to improve their rating. So it depends on what the veteran is seeking. That's where we.
So the veteran comes to you and says, currently I'm not getting any benefits, no money, no help. I need some help.
Mm-hmm. So again, I will ask them and meet with them to get more information to ensure that they are veterans. Get their request their DD-214, and then take them, whether it's to our local VA administration, VA hospital, but we have to submit the first form to get you into the system
All right.
and make you eligible and qualify for the benefits that you or anyone else is due.
Ms. Carmelo Hodges Matthews, the executive board member with the Veterans Affairs or the Veteran Board, helping vets. So if you need some help, post your question or your comment at 615-737-9292. You can also call us. Let's get back to the gala that happened the other week. Al Sharpton was here in Middle Tennessee.
Yes, he was. But before I go to that, I just want to piggyback off what Ms. Hodges was saying, Matthews was saying. Even with that, a lot of the veterans don't even know that they have benefits, that they can receive benefits. A lot of them been out here struggling and really did not know. And
Right.
when we meet them and they call because they hear the conversation, and then we pull up their stuff, she get all of that information and tell them, don't you know that you have this? You got to go start with this, and you could get you a medical card through the VA. And a lot of them didn't know. So
Wow.
those
They
information.
do these surveys, they come back, and
That's right.
there's benefits available from Uncle Sam.
Yes, it's there. And if you don't use it, it's just sitting there, and they go and do whatever they want to do with the money. It's just sitting there.
Right. So for the
So-
veterans that have never reached out to the Veterans Affairs, now's the time to find out what you're eligible for. Could be housing, buying a home. It could be medical, or just could be a benefit check.
Education.
Education. When I was first released from the military, I used my education benefits. Used them all up. So this is about as far as I'll get. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
Reverend Al Sharpton was here.
Yes, he was here.
Great event.
Yes, I really appreciate you, and I just want to call my team by name because they were on the ground. They hit the ground and ran. And I'm gonna start with my first vice president, which is Stacy Johnson. I want to start with my second vice president, which is Howard Jones, and then my third vice president is Pamela Adams. And then I had all of my secretary. Oh my gosh, she is the backbone.
All
Oh
right.
my gosh, she is the backbone. Miss Stacy Mason Lane.
All right,
And
Miss
then-
Lane.
Yes, and then we have our treasurer, the money maker. You got to hold that money.
Yeah.
And that's Miss Stephanie Thomas. And then the rest of the board, everybody was there. Deborah Alexander, our executive director. And then we have Jaton Blankenship, our assistant treasurer. We have our
Timothy.
other board, Timothy Hughes, our political action. Y'all know about Timothy.
Yes.
He don't take no mess. But I mean, it's just a host of us, and all of us came together to make this happen. And I mean, I wanted it to look so elegant that when people come in, they feel like they're at home and comfortable.
Right.
And it happened. And when I got the call, his plane just landed. I was like, thank you, Lord.
Yes.
And so I've been talking to him. I'm like, you got to come to Nashville. Nashville, we want you here. You have to come. He said, I'm coming. And
Right.
that's it. He told me I'm coming. I had no more communication with him or anything. And I got that call and said he on his way.
Right.
Sharpton came to Nashville, and Nashville, we showed up and showed out.
We did.
And I appreciate
We want to thank everyone that showed up for the event.
Everyone.
Now,
Yes, thank you,
just
thank you.
a common citizen, if you will, want to be a member of NAN. Can they do
Yes.
that?
Who?
Anyone.
Everyone. We need everyone on board. We need donations. We need members. We have a lot of open committee chairs. We have a lot of events that's coming up. We have a lot of workshop that's coming up. We need bodies. We need people. We need to continue the work out here because our communities are in trouble. They're in trouble because it's lack of education. They don't know what's going on out here. And that's what we do. We put on workshops just to get people engaged and knowing what's happening. And, we need everybody.
Absolutely.
Membership is always open. If you go to our website, you'll click on membership and it'll tell you everything you need to do from right there. And just come on board. And our website is www.nanmiddletn.org.
All right. And we'll give that out again.
Yes.
All right. Part of his message was the state of Black America. What did you come away with?
Yes. What he said to me is that I took from it is that no matter who you are, what race you are, what color you are, you're no better than the next person. And whatever happened to you right now today can happen to you tomorrow also. Don't ever take anything for granted, because what's happening right now, this world is in trouble. And I hear what a lot of people say, what's going on with this war and all of that stuff. But if we don't take care of home,
Right.
we can't work. We can't think about helping somebody else if we can't help the people right here at home. And we are suffering here in America. We really are. And we need help. We
And
need
the way
help.
to do that is to make a change at the ballot box.
Yes.
Miss Matthews, of course, registering to vote and then going to the
And
polls
going
and vote
to vote, yes.
is important.
Yes, we have been out in our communities and local high schools doing voters registration. A lot of people have so many misconceptions, especially our youth coming out of high school. It's funny that they are required to register with the selective services. However, they're not required to register to vote. A lot of them are confused about what it takes to vote. But the first step, when we explain to them, let's get registered to vote,
Right.
so that you will be eligible to vote.
A lot of people lost their lives, Ms. Huff, so you can have that right.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people lost their lives, but then when you go in there to vote, you have to understand what you're voting, who you're voting for. And a lot of people pay more attention to the mayor's race, the governor's race, the presidential race, and then those legislators ease on in there because we're not paying attention. All them seats that's open, we need to pay attention, and we need to get in there and vote for those legislators, those representatives and state representatives. We have to pay attention to what our elective polls are, and okay, we got vote for the president and all of that, but those legislators are the ones that make the bills, pass the bills, and then all the governor can do is sign it. So we have to focus more right there.
There's been a lot of controversy on Capitol Hill lately, and I know you and some of the other members of NAN have went to the House chambers or the Senate chambers to observe to see what's going on.
Yes.
From what you were able to see, fill us in.
They are afraid. They are afraid. They are afraid of our young people that's coming up. And if we get a lot more of these young students that's coming out of college and getting into these seats, they are afraid. When they had all of that stuff that happened with the Tennessee 3 and all of that happened, they were afraid because all of those youth, those kids that was in there, that was in freshman, junior, all of those are the future voters. And they were in that hallway and they letting them know, you live in our community. I'll be able to vote and I'm going to vote you out of them seats. So they're afraid. So the noise that's being made, it's a lot of them been sitting in those seats for a very long time. And they never heard of what they're hearing now. And they never had all of that hiccups that's in there because it's been quiet and they just get away with everything. Well, now it's noisy.
Right.
And the community is seeing what's happening.
And a young person has to keep in mind they only have to be 18 to vote and 18 to serve in the armed services.
Yes.
So do what you need to do.
Yes.
Make a change. You're not happy with the way things are? Make a change at the ballot box.
Have to, because they are future. What's going to happen when we get old and sit down and can't do anymore? We have to depend on them. So let's teach them now and stop closing them out and telling we don't want to hear from you or you can just be quiet. We got to stop doing that because they are our future. They are our future.
Our guests are members of the Middle Tennessee National Action Network, NAN. We have the president, Cheryl Huff, and we also have the executive board member in charge of the Veterans Chair. And that is Ms. Carmelo Hodges Matthews. You can post your questions or you can give us a call. 615-737-9292, now live on Facebook and on YouTube. We have a question now or a comment that says, from Ms. Long, it says, I hear that TSU students are not allowed to vote unless they have a Nashville address. So what's going on with that?
So if they live in Nashville, then they can vote. If they here for school, they can still vote here, and they can vote by ballot, or if they still registered at their home, wherever they're from, they can do absentee ballots,
Right.
but they have to get it mailed out in time so their vote can count. So, I mean, you can't ever stop us from voting. You just have to make sure we're in the right place where our vote will count.
One example they posted is it says that if they live in Knoxville or Chattanooga or somewhere else, they would have to go home.
Well, that's only for their first time. If they've registered and voting for the first time, they have to register in their hometown. But other than that, they can vote by absentee ballots. They can send they ballots in to wherever it is that they're living. And we don't ever want to discourage our kids, but that's what's happening now. And that's why they said my vote don't count.
Right.
Every vote don't count, because when you don't vote, that means you're voting. So always vote, no matter if there's a problem and there's an issue and you can get home and get that vote in, get on to the house and get
Right.
that vote and come on back.
Right.
Don't ever let no one stop you from voting.
Right. When you talk to young people, Ms. Matthews, are they still interested in joining the armed services?
Yes, absolutely. Some of them, it's a generational family tradition for some. Some are looking for ways to be able to afford their higher education. So several different reasons. We always, mainly when I'm in the high schools, I see recruiters there weekly. So they're out there and they're recruiting. So we have to be out there and we have to be recruiting and getting them to understand and being informed and educated about other things as well. But yes, there's
Right.
always going to be
That's an option.
an interest in those.
Joining the military as
Yes.
opposed to higher learning, but we encourage you to do
And also
something in
different,
life.
going to different trade schools. Everyone
Right.
don't go to school, but yeah, just being productive citizens in your community.
Right. Are you noticing that more and more young people are becoming members of organizations such as yourself?
Yes, they want to be a part, but again, some of the organization close their doors to them, or if they come out to join, then they'll put them in a back seat or put them behind and they stay out in front. But I'm open doors to all of the young because I need them there. I mean, they computer, they can do magic on these computers. They can take your phone and make your phone talk to you. I mean, so the smarts that these youth have, we need that. We need that. And every organization needs these young people in there. And so to stop them and not listen to them, you doing disservice to yourself.
One of the messages that Reverend Al Sharpton delivered was about violence, gun violence. What do we tell young people now that gun violence or violence doesn't settle every argument?
Well, I mean, again, I say, you put a camera where you want the message to go. And they always seem to have a camera in our community. But if you go on First 48, if you go on CNN, if you go on all of these little shows that they have on there, it's not our community that's on there, but they're not going to show you what's really happening. And I think it's just in that little small cluster of people, they want to keep showing you what's happening. And if you go to the news, and I just say, if you go to the news and something happened, when you see a picture, you know why. When you don't see a picture, you know who it is. So it's just what they show you. And I don't believe and this is my opinion and mine's alone, I don't believe it's all of that much crime in certain areas. It's just what they want you to see and hear in those certain areas. But I say that these community centers, they need to be open. They need to be open till 10 o'clock. They need to have these kids in these centers, give them some jobs, and stop telling them no.
Right.
And they have nothing to do. The parents at work, the kids at home. An idle man is a devil workshop. And it's happening every time.
Right.
Give our children something to do. Now, I work with parents that come to me because their children has been taken out of the house. And they in the system now. And then the system say, well, when you 16, 17, 18, you on your own. And they open the door and kick them out there. Now they have nowhere to go.
Right.
You done put them on this medicine.
Not old enough to really get a job.
They can't do anything. So what do? They going to hit somebody in the head because they need $1 to go eat. They need to go kick somebody door in because they need somewhere to sleep. Our children are in trouble. And if we're not here to help them, then what do we complain about?
Just this past weekend, we've heard about gun violence and people getting robbed and carjacked and all. I'm going, what is the world coming to now?
It's going to come to the end if we don't do something. Can I tell you this case that I've been working with?
Please do.
Young lady in Murfreesboro. Her son was hanging out with some other guys, some Caucasian guys. Her son is black. These other guys are white, and one was Hispanic. And he was hanging out with all of them. He was 14, 15 years old. They 18 and 19 years old. And the mother said that I'm going to put you in juvenile. I'm going to do something because this streets is not where you need to be.
Right.
And they assume, I don't know if he was going to tell what's been happening, whatever. But this Caucasian young boy, 18, came in that house and shot this boy in his head. Shot him in the head and killed him. He got off.
Got off?
He got off with probation.
Because he was under the age of 18?
Because in Rutherford County,
right,
it's a whole different system.
Wow. No parent should have to bury their own child.
This mother is suffering. She's suffering because where was the justice for her son? Where was it? You walked in my house and you shot him in the head and killed him and told 3 different lies. And from those 3 different lies that he told, once he got an attorney, then they stuck with one of them. And that's what they did. And now he's gone free. He got 4 years probation.
Cheryl Huff is the president of the Middle Tennessee National Action Network. And you can grab a phone line, 615-737-9292 if you have any questions or comments for. Or if you do have some questions, you can post it. You can post it live on Facebook and, of course, live on YouTube. Along with Carmelo Hodges Matthews, who's the executive board member for the Veterans Chair. And if you are a veteran and you need help, get your DD-214, the first thing you need to do. Contact her will be the second thing you need to do because you may have benefits that you don't even know about. If a young service member comes home healthy, no problems, no post-traumatic stress disorder, they still are eligible for benefits, I understand.
Absolutely. Benefits are, and when you say benefits, I don't want to be misleading.
Okay.
It's services and supports that you may need to continue on to live your life because you have served. So it varies. You may need health care. Some people may not need health care. Some people need support with housing. Some people need educational benefits. Some people need just support dealing with the trauma of being or having served. So it varies. And there's lots of other organizations out there that also support veterans as well. We have a local, no one even knew right here, we have a Wounded Warrior program right here in Nashville that offer a lot of services. So there's so much.
Your needs may not just be medical. It could be a variety of things.
Absolutely.
And those benefits are there and you don't even know they're there.
Look, my
You're
husband,
putting the word out now. Benefits are available.
He's a veteran. And we got, because of Miss Matthews, we got involved with the Wounded Warrior program. And, I mean, we went to Memphis to do the Top Golf. We go to these events that they have. And, I mean, they have social hours. They have things that all families and
support
veterans.
Groups.
Yes.
That's why I say I take them individually. I don't like to say, and that's why I'm always reluctant to say something and everyone take it because it's individualized. Just like your service, your health is individualized. So it's each veteran. Your needs is totally different from the next veteran's needs.
So it could be housing.
It could be just a way to unwind. It could just be anything from, like she said, having a social place and space where you are surrounded with other veterans, because veterans understand veterans. It's nothing worse. The worst feeling I have had is being surrounded with non-veterans who are there, who's supposed to uplift or support me, and they have no clue what I have experienced or gone through or can't relate to what I'm feeling or what I'm saying. Because again, it takes someone who has walked in those shoes, who have served, to relate to what you're going through or what
Right.
you're dealing with. So
How many years again did you spend?
I served 25 years before I retired.
Wow.
And Ernie, it is housing too, because I had a young man come down and he was talking, he was living with a friend of his and he was having a hard time. And majority of the time he was sleeping in his car, and he's a veteran. And I was like, well, let's see what we can do. And I sent it to, that's when I was working with the NAACP, and I talked with Jahad Martin. And Jahad got his information, filled out his form, and worked with him. And that man has his own place. And
Okay.
he was so excited. And people say, why do you do this work? I mean, what are you gaining from that? No one's paying you. You don't get paid to do this. Why you do this? Because that alone, when they call me and say, I got my place, I have a home for myself. When they call me and say, I got my job back. When they call me and say, they heard me, that's my reward. That's what I get. That's it. God take care of everything that I need. He take care of all of my needs. And me helping people give me a pleasure to see the smile on their face.
Why do you think so many veterans are not aware of these benefits that are there, Ms. Hodges?
They're not informed. They're not informed. Again, when they are sent to get the benefits or get the information, not that they're turned away. Again, they're met with someone who is absolutely not understanding of what they're experiencing. So when they go and apply and they are told things that they know are totally wrong or untrue, it discourages them. And they never, I have some especially Vietnam veterans, they are so reluctant to apply for what they have earned
Absolutely.
because they have been turned around or because of the negative experiences they have encountered. So again, the VA, like I said, there's so many services and workshops. Like Providence just had a wonderful, wonderful military workshop a couple of weeks ago. And just to know all these services and individuals that are there to get information out, and they're still not there. Some of them just are reluctant because they've given up.
So let's encourage organizations and churches now
To reach out.
to reach out to these veterans.
Open the
Perhaps
doors.
call you or Nan
Mm-hmm.
to get your organization involved.
Yes.
615-737-9292 if you have a question or a comment for our guest, Cheryl Huff or Ms. Carmelo Hodges Matthews. She is an executive board member and also the chair of the Veterans Administration for that organization, NAN. Back to Brother Al Sharpton and his visit to the Music City. Historical. I had never had an opportunity to meet him before, and I did, so thank you.
Yes.
I enjoyed it. The message was powerful. He still has that message of discrimination and racism.
Yes.
It's still existing.
Of course.
Well, you mean by of course, what can we do to stop it?
We can't stop it. You just have to minimize it.
Okay.
And people don't even know when they're being discriminated. They don't even know that things is happening to them, and it's not right. But now they doing this DEI, and they doing this, taking stuff away that we've fought for many years. I mean, 1964 voting rights, they picking it apart piece by piece. And when you sit back and you know and you see this is happening, and you do nothing, and you get so comfortable because you sitting up in a different house and you getting paid more, that it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall. But I mean, I always say, and again, it's my words and mine alone, we need our own radio stations. We need our own TV stations. We need our own message to go out, because people can't carry our message. You can't talk for me. You can't tell me what I need. I don't need you to talk for me. We don't need you to talk for our community. We can do it ourselves. And then you find a lot of us sitting here begging for $1. Can I get some of that grant money? Can I get?
Right.
No, we can create our own. We can create our own. And me listening to Reverend Sharpton and hearing the words from all of these civil rights icon and all of this, just hearing all of that, it lets you know you don't have to beg for nothing. And I hear people all the time say, we just want to sit at the table. Well, we don't want to sit at their table. They could come and sit at our table. And when I say they, I mean people that don't care about our needs, don't care about what's hurting us. Only we know that. So if we have our table and let them come to our table, then we can get our message across better. I'm still waiting on the mayor. I'm still waiting on you. I need a conversation. I'm waiting on you.
Cheryl Huff is the president of the Middle Tennessee National Action Network. 615-737-9292. If you have a question or a comment or you can post your questions. We're live on YouTube and live on Facebook. 737-9292. What action needs to be taken? The National Action Network is here in Middle Tennessee.
Yes.
Reverend Al Sharpton, part of his message again was about justice.
Yes. Yes.
When is that going to stop?
When it's going to stop or start?
Either one.
So that's why we're here, to keep it started.
Right.
We have to keep doing what we're doing. We have to close our ears to the negative talking and keep doing the work that's needed. And education, education, education. When we educate our community and let them know what's going on, and then they'll be more equipped. And I just keep saying, we have to educate. You can't say go vote and don't tell them how to vote. You can't say go stop them from doing you wrong, and you haven't taught them how to stop you. You can't tell them what they doing to our kids in these schools and these low performing schools. We need to stop them. If we don't teach them how to stop them from doing what they're doing to us, it's going to continue going. And some people sit back and like, I don't see nothing wrong. Everything is good. But then your kids is sitting here saying they're going to have to be held back. Why? Why are you holding my kids back? But when they've been in your school working with you all year, now you're saying you holding them back because they're not meeting the grade level. Well, who designed the grade level? Who? Right. How you know the
third
curriculum?
and fourth graders, literally.
How do you know the curriculum is even right? I mean, you hear that so much, but because parents don't really understand, we need to keep educating the parents on what their rights are when to fight for their children. That's the stuff that I want to see happen.
Post your questions and your comments on Let's Talk and also on YouTube. In fact, we have Mr. Williamson who just posted for you, and it says, thank you for all that you do, Queen. Go Queen Cheryl.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. But this is for everybody, my whole team, our whole community. When we work together, we get a message out here. So it's for all of us. So thank you also.
All right. And thank you for
him
posting
what
the
he
question.
does. He does an excellent job out there, too. Stay encouraged, my brother.
And of course,
that's what it's about. It takes all of us.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I just do want to say this. The one thing that I took away as Reverend Sharpner was speaking, and it was a quote that came to my mind from Coretta Scott King. And he said, the struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You earn it. You win it in every generation. Right. So that's why we say it's a movement and not a moment, because it's ongoing. And so our generation have to encourage and empower and educate the generations coming along us. And do know that this generation don't have the same mindset. They're fearless.
Right.
And they're powerful.
That's
and
okay.
I'm looking forward to the changes that are going to be made. I'm looking
right.
forward to it.
Speaking of changes, give us an idea of what's on the calendar coming up a little later for NAN.
Yeah.
Ms. Matthews or President Huff?
So, go ahead.
We have lots of different workshops coming up.
Okay.
And again, we're continuing with voters registration drives. We're continuing with empowering and giving out information when it comes to housing, the state of the Black man, some more women workshops, so much.
All right.
So
stay tuned and check our website.
And we want people to be involved and be members of the organization.
yes, we want them. We need them. We need members. We need everybody. But one thing that I'm so happy for, and we're in a planning stage right now. But we had a lot of the families and the mothers of our Trayvon Martin's mom, Sabrina Fulton. We had Ahmaud Arbery mom. We had George Floyd family. We had a lot of them. They were coming down to Nashville. That was going to be our surprise. But Sabrina Fulton had a retreat, and her retreat happened on the same day our event happened, so they couldn't come. But you all stay tuned. Keep your eyes to the prize, because they're all coming in, and we're going to put it together, and we're going to open up Nashville one more time and get them in here. So when I open up that website and say, go get your tickets, go get your tickets. They're coming.
Do you still make visits to court?
I sit in
here
that
in
court.
Middle Tennessee?
Yes, sir. I sit in the court. I do court watch all the time.
And what's the purpose of that, please?
The purpose of it is that if you come in my neighborhood and you saying, can I get your vote? And this is what I do, because they do it all the time. They come in our neighborhoods and you never seen them before. You don't know anything about them. But then they
or you
ask
see them
for
in
your
your
vote.
church on Sunday.
Yeah, coming to the church ain't knock the church doors down, but they tearing them open now when it's election time, and they need your vote and they want your vote. But I hold them accountable. I go sit in the courtroom. I don't say anything. I get my notepad and my pen, because I'm making my own report card. Because when you come back to me again and ask me for your vote, I'm going to tell you, let me open up this page. And I'm going to write, you did this, and that wasn't right. And you know it wasn't right, but you did it anyway because you didn't think no one was paying no attention.
Right.
But if I put you in there, I'm paying attention.
So court watch is for the officials, not necessarily cases then.
It's court watches for any judge, any attorney, anyone that's working in the courtroom, that's working with the people. We want to know what they're doing, how they're doing it, and why they're doing it. And it's for everything. Everything, we sit in there and watch it all. And I mean, and people, we have to get in them courtrooms. We have to. These judges is doing stuff that you never would imagine because it's behind closed doors and you're not paying them no attention. And they doing it to our children, to our men, our women. They doing it because nobody's paying attention. You got to pay attention.
Pay attention. You paying attention on the veterans that need help?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm out there. What you don't know, Ernie, Adeline, is that I've been doing this for over just about as long as I've been serving.
Okay.
Even before becoming a retired veteran, I've always been out there. So my face is known, my name is known. I work with several other organizations. And what's good is that veterans that are receiving assistance and getting into different programs, they come back and they volunteer to help. So again, the numbers are out there. You'll see us on, of course, Veterans Day, Memorials Day, and all that. But guess what? You see us year round out there helping and supporting. So yeah, you see us under the bridges. You see us on the streets. You see us everywhere.
Thank you for your service.
One thing we have that we're going to start doing, I'm working with Pastor Howard Jones, our second vice president, and he's going to be working with the men in ministry. And we're going to be opening up these church doors once a month, and every month we want these organizations to sign up, because this month is going to be this organization going to come out and we're going to feed the community, and next month the next organization going to come out, and that's what we're putting together now, because we want to engage the community and let them know what's out here. So
are you meeting with the local officials such as Metro Council members of different districts?
Yes, I work with them all the time
to see what the needs are for the community.
Well, I talk with them. I call them and tell them what the needs are.
Okay.
I tell them what we need in our community. I tell them about them broken lights, that we need lights. We need sidewalks. Look, I have some property that in that neighborhood, the streets need paving. I'm going to keep calling you. I don't care if I'm bugging you. I'm going to keep calling you until I see a truck out there putting that stuff down on the grounds and filling in them holes. Once it get done, I'm done. Now I'm going to the next street. What you need? What's going on? And one thing I did do, Ernie, which it made me so happy, is because our elderly homeowners, they don't know that MDHA, they have grants, they have money to help fix up your house,
All
to
right.
help put new roofs, put windows, give you heat and air system. And all you doing is sign off for 5 years. You don't have to pay anything. You just signing off, guaranteed that you're going to live there for the next 5 years. And they come in there and fix. I've had 4 senior citizen that had all of this service done to their house, and they never knew that could happen. See, there's so many programs out here that we just don't know about.
Yeah,
But now
we got to keep the word out.
we tapping into it.
Right.
Yes.
NAN, that stands for National Action Network, and Middle Tennessee is on the move. And of course, you can be a member. Let's talk again about how we can become a member of NAN.
So all you have to do is just go to our website, and that's www.nanmiddletn.org. And when you click on there, you'll see everything you need to know. Donations are needed. We need to funding. We need funding to keep this work going. And we go around, and when I say we need funding from our people.
Absolutely.
We need funding to help this organization keep striving what
Is
we
there
do.
a Middle Tennessee number that people can also call?
Yeah, I have the number. You can-
731
There you
Okay.
go.
214-8658. I repeat, 731-214-8658.
8658.
And you see why my team is
On it.
always needed. Yes, sir.
That's Ms. Carmelo. Thank you for your service, Ms. Carmelo. 615-737-9292 if you have a question or a comment for our guest. We're talking to members of the Middle Tennessee National Action Network. Reverend Al Sharpton, who started the program, not the organization, rather, in 1991.
91.
Yes.
Now there's an affiliate here in Middle Tennessee.
Yes.
Become a member. 731-214-8658. Correct?
Correct.
And we'll give that out again before you leave. Back to the Reverend Sharpton's visit.
Yes.
Oh,
So
How did he react to so many people being around?
let me tell you, when he got off, when he called and he said, well, the plane just landed, and when they was 11 minutes away, they called me. So I had to come outside. He said, I want Miss Huff out there. And I was standing there. His security said, we 3 minutes out. We turn in the corner. They came on around that corner. Just seeing this vehicle come around that corner I was like, had goosebumps, everything. Like, he is here. And he got out that car. I was like, wow, he is in
Hey, he
Nashville.
look well.
Yes, sir, he does.
Still wearing the
Yes, sir,
James
he
Brown
does.
hairdo?
he was excited about
He
being
was.
here. He gave us
Right.
lots of good positive feedback. We've been hearing lots of positive feedback from the
Yes.
community, those that attended. We had over 220 paid people that attended. We even
Right.
had some that came that paid just to stand without eating at this ball that we had. So again, we thank all of the people that came out to support. We thank all of our sponsors. Oh my God,
Yes.
thank you for those who
Who were some of the
sponsored.
sponsors?
Some of our sponsors were
Because we want them to sponsor again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so we had Vivian Wilhort that sponsored. Thank you so much, Vivian. We had Megan Berry that sponsored us.
Village?
Yeah, we had the Village that came in and sponsored. We had
Freeman Web Company.
Bill Freeman. He came in, he
Yes.
stood up and stood out, and he donated to us, and that
Yes,
was
thank
Right.
you.
that was
Thank you. We
amazing.
appreciate
All
you.
of the sponsors, we didn't have a lot because we had a month and a half to plan this event because we couldn't do anything.
And it was good to see my good friend Reverend Enoch Fuzz, too.
Yes, yeah. Oh my God.
He sponsored as
Enoch
well.
Enoch Fuzz, I was gonna say the best for last,
Okay.
okay? Because Enoch Fuzz, I called him and I said, "Look, I got these tables, I have these tickets, I need your help. Let's do this." Enoch Fuzz started making phone calls. He received the certificate of appreciation, and he received an icon, a civil rights icon, because Fuzz, when you call him, he gonna come through,
Right.
and he came all the way through.
Right.
And I appreciate him, and I appreciate everybody that did come in and get tables and buy tickets and everything. And so
Also-
this was our first one. This was
Right.
our first one.
And you honored some great people. Rosetta Military,
Yes.
That's what I wanna
Keith
get to before we
Caldwell.
run out of
That's what I was
time.
about to say. We did.
we run out of time.
Rosetta Perry was our trumpet award for the work that she do here in Nashville. She was our first lifetime member, and she keep us on our toes, and
Right.
she's there. And then we honored Courtney Teasley, our attorney, Courtney Teasley, with the fine and the good work that she does.
Yes.
And then our number one, Keith Caldwell.
My man.
Keith Caldwell, he got the Al Sharpton Champion Award.
Yes.
I mean,
and got up, and the first thing that he delivered was about what was going on
That's right.
on Capitol Hill, even though now he's in Memphis.
That's right.
But we've always used the theme, you've been bamboozled,
And Hook
run amok,
Run
led
amok.
astray.
That's right.
We also want to
All
thank
that.
those that purchased ads and gave
Yeah.
in-kind services.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Torch Cigar Lounge. Thank you, Stacy Mason Events.
Yes.
Thank you, IBM. And thank you, Soul. Those wonderful programs that you
Yes.
saw. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they
Thank you.
came
Thank
out
you.
Right.
from Soul.
It takes a
John
village.
Smith.
John- yeah.
It takes
thank you.
everyone.
It does. It does. And we
But
thank
I'm
all
gonna
of
tell you,
those.
and I know I probably ran Stacy Mason Lane nerves to the floor. Stacy, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. But she never blinked her eye. She was like, "What you need to do? Tell me." And she did it. So I just appreciate her and everybody else that stood up and stood in.
Right. I appreciate
Made it
you
happen.
and your team.
Yes.
Let me ask you this before you go. What were you charged with for Brother Al Sharpton coming to you and saying, look, this is what I need for you to do. This is what I want you to do. This is what we need to pick up.
He said when he walked in that door and he got on that stage, he said that he was a man of his word, that he told me he was coming. And he said he got on his private jet and he came to Nashville.
Right.
He gave his message. He got back on that plane and he went back out. But what he told me, he said, you open up them doors in Nashville and I'll be there one day. And that's when we first started. And when he came and he stood on that stage, he was like, wow, you all have a full house in Nashville. So that right there was just, I mean, that took the cake. That was the most important thing ever, that he saw that Nashville came out just to hear his speech.
All right. Miss Carmelo Hodges Matthews, Executive Board Member and also the Chair of the Veterans Chair. What can veterans do to get these benefits? Should they contact this number that you gave out earlier?
Yes, that same website and contact number will get them to me.
All right. And that number is 731-214-8658.
58, yes.
All right. Veterans, if you have not received any type of benefits or your benefits may be a little off, find out more from
Just
Carmelo.
call to see what it is that you may not know. For example, again, a lot of veterans say, I'm set, I have this. And I'll be like, oh, did you know that you also is eligible for this? So a lot of them are surprised and they come, oh, wow.
As little as 10%.
Some of them have 100%. And they're like, oh, I have 100%. But are you 100% permanent and total? There's a difference.
Well,
Are
absolutely.
you not able to hit that 100% mark, but yet you're not able to work? You could qualify and say that you're non-employable, which will also get you 100% of benefits. So there's so much that veterans
Okay, I'm gonna have
aren't
to call
aware
that
of.
number.
Yeah, call. I'm telling you, call.
Right.
There's going to be plenty workshops.
Because
like
after
a
all,
veteran
when
taking
we
care
tell
of
a
a veteran.
veteran, thank you for your service, they give their life for the country. So when they come back and they're still able to function or do well, Uncle Sam still needs to do even more.
That's right. And when we say thank you for your service, let's mean that.
Right.
Don't just say it just because it's something that they say all the
They
time.
say it all the
Let's
time.
really mean thank you for your service by supporting them, taking care of them. We shouldn't see them sitting under the bridge because they have nowhere to live, or eating out the garbage can because they have no food to eat. Let's take care of them.
Right. Let's take care of business and go to the polls and vote Remember, it's not just a presidential election, but others are on the ballot locally, statewide. And of course, they're asking for your vote. If you are not satisfied on what is going on, make a change. Go to the polls. Cast a ballot for the candidate of your choice.
That's right.
All right. Call this number, 731-214-8658, for more information about what is going on with the Middle Tennessee National Action Network, or NAN. Cheryl Huff, the president, thank you so much. You know you have an open invitation to come by.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Ernie.
Be a member. Become a member. Become a member. 731-214-8658.
Sponsor someone to become a member.
There you go.
Donate.
And thank you, Ms. Camilla Hodges Matthews, who's the executive board member and also helping veterans get what they deserve.
Always.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. 731-214-8658. Remember that number. Write it down.
Yes.
Become a member of the Middle Tennessee National Action Network. Thank you so much, as you do, for joining us. Remember, as always, to respect your father and your mother, love your brother, and teach your sister how to be a lady. Until our next episode, our next show, it's been our pleasure. We hope it's been yours.
You've been listening to Let's Talk with your host, Ernie Allen. The views and opinions expressed on Let's Talk do not necessarily represent the position of this radio station or management on the subject matter. Let's Talk is a presentation of the News and Public Affairs Department of 92Q. Check out this and previous Let's Talk shows online at